According to George Martin, if House of the Dragon had 10 episodes in 4 seasons, it would be able to present the whole story nicely. That means we're assuming a total of 30 episodes over the next 3 seasons. Fire and Blood is not supposed to take 30 episodes to finish Dance of the Dragon, so I think the series will drag on until the birth of Daenerys Strombourne of House Targaryen. And at the beginning of the series, Daenerys Targaryen was named Manson. I initially thought that since we are connected to the character Daenerys Targaryen, his name was mentioned to facilitate our understanding. Now watching will be shown until his birth. So why is Daenerys Targaryen called Stromborne? I will write the answer at the end. Anyway, what we can expect to see in the next season will be revealed in this video, so this video is not for those who don't like spoilers. Before starting the writing, it is necessary to give an idea about the Western calendar. All of us who have watched Game of Thrones know that Westeros is the western part of the Game of Thrones world and Essos is in the east. A place in Essos is named Valyria. The dragon rider Targaryens lived there. But Aener Targaryen left Valyria to live on an island east of Westeros, believing that her daughter Daenerys the Dreamer Targaryen's dream of doom of Valyria or Valyria would be destroyed. The island was named Dragonstone. Aegon the Conqueror and his 2 sisters Visenya Targaryen and Rhaenys Targaryen were born on this Dragonstone. Aegon later married 2 of his sisters to keep their bloodline pure as per Targaryen tradition. However, since the Targaryens came from Freehold/Free City Essos, they had an affinity for Essos. They kept in touch with Essos and kept track of various issues and had many friends at Essos. They had no headaches with Westeros, but Aegon Targaryen, who was called Egg as a child, was very interested in Westeros. He loved studying the history and geography of Westeros. When Aegon becomes the Lord of the Dragonstones, he seeks to fulfill his heart's desire. He wants to conquer all of Westeros and rule. No lord had thought of this before. His 2 sister wives Visenya Targaryen and Rhaenys Targaryen accompanied him to fulfill this wish. They are joined by their 3 dragons Balerion the Black Dread, Vhagar, and Mixis. Prince Aegon, along with his 2 sisters Waff and the dragons, took over 80% of Westeros one by one. One day they arrived to attack an area in the west of Westeros called Old Town. Old Town is considered the holiest place in Westeros. This is where the citadel of the Masters of Westeros is located. Before attacking here, the Maesters surrendered to Prince Aegon, and the High Sept of the Faith of the Seven declared Prince Aegon King of Westeros. From this day, Prince Aegon became King Aegon of the House Targaryen, first of his name, King of the Andals, the Reiner, the first man, Lord of the 7 Kingdoms and Protector of the Realm. And with that, a new calendar begins in Westeros. King Aegon began counting the period before the 7 Kingdoms conquest as before conquest, BC, and the periods after the conquest as after conquest, AC. This was the history of the Westeros calendar. Another thing after this victory, a flag was needed to carry the identity of the Targaryens. Now the 3-headed dragon we see on the Targaryen flag is not a 3-headed dragon. Here Balerion, Vhagar, and Meraxes are shown together, because without these 3 dragons it was not possible to conquer the 7 kingdoms. Viserys Targaryen became king 103 years after King Aegon of the House Targaryen began his reign, i.e. 103 AC, and this is where our House of the Dragon begins. King Jaehaerys and his council installed Princess Rhaenys and her cousin Prince Viserys on the Iron Throne. Because Viserys is a man and Rhaenys is a woman, Westeros started calling Rhaenys the queen who never was. Rhaenys puts up with all the fuss and is married to Lord Corlys Velaryon of the Driftmark. Corlys Velaryon in the books looks quite different from Lord Corlys in the series. However, Viserys Targaryen married a beautiful girl named Aemma Arryn when he was only 16 years old, but Aemma had some problems with giving birth. Several of his children died before birth. Finally, in 97 AC, a beautiful girl was born to them, which is named Rhaenyra, and in 103 AC Viserys became king. The Targaryens were very powerful when Viserys became king. No house in Westeros would even think of messing with them. The Targaryens were feared by all as their large army was accompanied by several deadly dragons. But after Viserys became king, that fear was replaced by love and respect, because Viserys was a very kind and peaceful king. Everyone in the kingdom lived in peace, but King Viserys was in turmoil. The reason for the unrest was that he had no son, and if no son is born, his brother Daemon Targaryen must be declared heir. But such a peace-loving king is not willing to hand over the kingdom to a troublemaker like his brother. Of course, he has a daughter, but no one has seen a girl sitting on the Iron Throne before. So King Viserys cannot declare his daughter as heir to the Iron Throne, although he loves the girl Rhaenyra very much. And why not love? Wherever King Viserys went, Rhaenyra would go. Anyone who sees him will want to love him. All of Westeros called him Realm's Daylight due to his smiling face and heartwarming personality. Meanwhile, Aemma Arryn dies of complications while giving birth, but left a prince. But after a day that prince also died. All of the small council then asked King Viserys to decide on his succession, and in 105 AC, King Viserys declared Princess Rhaenyra heir to the throne or the Iron Throne without telling Prince Daemon. This is the first time in the 100-year history of the Targaryen reign that someone has declared their daughter heir to the throne, the first woman to sit on the Iron Throne after the king dies. All the lords of Westeros bowed to Rhaenyra and accepted him as heir to the king and heir to the Iron Throne. Meanwhile, Prince Daemon gets the news and is furious. Unable to contain his anger, he rode from King's Landing to Dragonstone on the dragon caraxes with his guard. Meanwhile, King Viserys continues to teach his daughter Rhaenyra how to rule the kingdom like a worthy queen. But after some days the king started suffering from loneliness. So in 106 AC, the king married Alicent Hightower, daughter of his hand of the King Otto Hightower. At the wedding ceremony, Alicent sees Rhaenyra, kisses her on the forehead, hugs her. King Viserys is very happy to see this and he is relieved. Rhaenyra and Alicent continue to have a good relationship, but after a few days, trouble started between Alicent and Rhaenyra because Prince Aegon, second of his name, was born in the house of King Viserys and Queen Alicent in 7 AC. Princess Helena was born in 10 AC and Prince Aemon in 11 AC. Rhaenyra is a 14-year-old girl, so now he realizes that Alicent's eldest son, Aegon II, is a thorn in his path to the Iron Throne. Because as the king's eldest son, Aegon is a worthy claimant to the Iron Throne, and many support this claim, but King Viserys refuses to listen to any of them. He calls Rhaenyra his heir to the Iron Throne after his death. Meanwhile, listening to the king's words, Alicent and her father, Hand of the King, Otto Hightower, fell into thought. He repeatedly asks the king to declare Prince Aegon ascendant to the throne, but the king was firm in his decision. Otto Hightower also wooed the king to place his grandson on the throne. The king was upset and removed Otto from his position as Hand of the King. In 111 AC, a ceremony was held to mark the 5th wedding anniversary of King Viserys and Queen Alicent. It is there that a cold war is going on between Princess Rhaenyra and Queen Alicent. They hate each other. In this event, Rhaenyra wears black as a symbol of the Targaryens and Queen Alicent wears green as a symbol of the Hightowers. From then on, Rhaenyra's supporters were called black and Alicent's supporters were called green. Unbeknownst to King Viserys, the Black vs. Green Cold War continues in King's Landing. At 113 AC, Rhaenyra reached 17 years. Marriage proposals started coming for her. Members of King Viserys' small council proposed marriage to Laenor Valyrian, son of Corlys Valyrian, Lord of the Tide, because the Valyrians hail from Old Valyria and are the richest house in the realm. So King Viserys arranges the marriage of Princess Rhaenyra to Laenor Valyrian, but Rhaenyra disagrees with this marriage. 2 ways to express his disagreement. 1. Sir Criston Cole. Sir Criston Cole was one of the most dangerous and deadly warriors in all of Westeros, also very handsome, who defeated Prince Daemon in a tournament after King Viserys' wedding. After winning the tournament, according to custom, the 7-year-old princess presented Rhaenyra with a rose. After winning the tournament, Sir Criston was appointed as Rhaenyra's personal storm shield. But Rhaenyra fell in love with Sir Criston Cole after receiving the flower and revealed it to Sir Criston Cole at the age of 14. But Sir Criston doesn't listen to Rhaenyra's words, but Rhaenyra still hopes that maybe Sir Criston will love her one day. 2. Laenor Valyrian was a bisexual, who preferred the company of boys to girls and was in a relationship with a knight named Joffrey Lonmouth, word of which reached Rhaenyra's ears. So he was very worried that Laenor would not love Rhaenyra if he married Laenor. So Rhaenyra was not willing to marry Laenor. One day, King Viserys was told by Rhaenyra that she would not marry Laenor. Hearing this, the king is very angry and says that if Rhaenyra does not agree to marry Laenor, his heir to the throne will be cancelled. So Rhaenyra agrees to marry Laenor without seeing any other way. In 114 AC, Rhaenyra and Laenor were married with great fanfare. A tournament is organized after the wedding. Joffrey Lonmouth faced Sir Criston Cole in that tournament. Sir Criston spins his weapon called the Morningstar so violently that Joffrey Lonmouth is severely injured and dies 6 days later. Laenor is furious at this incident and wants Sir Criston dead, because Laenor loved Joffrey. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra also wants the destruction of Criston as Sir Criston has rejected Rhaenyra, and King Viserys was also angry with Sir Criston, because such a death in a friendly tournament is not good. Sir Criston Cole was under pressure from all sides, his death is inevitable. But Queen Alicent tells the king that what happened was a mere accident. So Sir Criston survives and thanks Queen Alicent. He also promised to fight for the Greens forever. But in this series we have this part reversed. Meanwhile, Prince Daemon marries Lena Valerian, sister of Laenor Valerian, and settles in the Pensive Essos, and Rhaenyra and Laenor in Dragonstone, King Viserys and Queen Alicent in King's Landing. Within 5 years of marriage, Rhaenyra had 3 sons, 114 the eldest son in AC Jacaerys Valerian, 115 AC floor-boy Lucerys Valerian, 117 the little boy in AC Joffrey Valerian. Meanwhile, Alicent has a child named Daeron. However, Rhaenyra's 3 sons and Alicent's 4 children used to play sports together as children, but as they grew up, they grew to hate each other, because their mother hated each other. Alicent's eldest son, Aegon Roman II, bonds with Sunfire, Dragonstone's most beautiful dragon, as a teenager. Sunfire looked so beautiful that no one in Westeros had seen such a beautiful dragon before. Sunfire looks golden in color. When he spread his wings in the sky, the sun shone and his body began to sparkle. Along with that, Helena also brings a silver-colored dragon named Dreamfire, and Helena wandered all over King's Landing since she was little. Talk to the common people of King's Landing. A princess talking to common people was extraordinary to common people, so everyone in King's Landing loved Helena very much, and it was decided that Princess Helena would marry Prince Aegon. Alicent's younger son Aemond was cheeky. He would say whatever came to his mouth. He did not think about what might happen to him. This little Aemond sat down with Vhagar, the largest and most fearsome dragon in Westeros, but in comparison, the sons of Rhaenyra made connections with some dragons of ordinary quality, and his sons can ride dragons, but they don't look like Targaryens or Valyrians. While the Targaryens and Valyrians are famous for their silver hair, the 3 sons of Rhaenyra and Laenor all have brown hair. So many started whispering that Laenor is already bisexual, so maybe there is no husband-wife relationship between them. They may be Harwin Strong's sons, because Strong's hair is brown, and Harwin Strong is employed as Rhaenyra's guard. Among these comes the Year of Red Spring. 120 AC is called the Year of Red Spring, because this year the people of Westeros have witnessed some major deaths. A shadow of mourning fell over all of Westeros. However, the level of this grief is like a mountain on Valyrian house. First, Lena Valerian, daughter of Rhaenys Targaryen and Lord Corlys Valerian, wife of Prince Daemon Targaryen, died. Black and Green all show up at Driftmark during his funeral. It is there that the cheeky Rhaenyra's eldest son Jacaerys tells Valerian, "What will your mother be queen of again? You are all strong boys." On hearing this, Jacaerys attacked Aemond in anger, but Aemond was not able to cope, so Lucerys attacked Aemond with his small knife. Aemond's eyes hurt. Aemond's eyes are destroyed. From then on, Aemond wears an expensive diamond in his eye, and people started calling him One-Eyed Aemond. King Viserys knew everything about Rhaenyra but didn't say anything because she thought she would get hurt. But now King Viserys is enraged to find his son's eye attacked and sends Sir Harwin Strain to Harrenhal along with his father Hand of the King Liner. A few days later, a fire broke out at Harrenhal. Hand of the King and Sir Harwin Strain died in the crash. The horrors of the Year of Red Spring are not over yet. Rhaenyra's husband Laenor Valerian also died in the meantime. After a string of Hand of the King liners died, Otto Hightower was reassigned to the position of Hand of the King. Meanwhile, in 120 AC, Princess Rhaenyra and Prince Daemon had a surprising incident. Within 4 months of Laenor's death, Rhaenyra and Daemon were married. King Viserys was very saddened to hear this news. Meanwhile, Otto Hightower tells the king again Rhaenyra can no longer be heir to the Iron Throne for what she has done. You declare your eldest son Aegon heir to the Iron Throne, but King Viserys still considers Rhaenyra to be his heir. So Otto Hightower can't help much, but he continued to appoint his supporters to the small council, and slowly the level of green supporter in the small council started to increase. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra was happily spending her days in Dragonstone with her angel husband Daemon. 2 sons were born to them. 120 AC Aegon Targaryen Roman III, 122 AC Viserys Targaryen LO. Rhaenyra deliberately named her son Aegon Targaryen to contradict Alicent, but Alicent says my Aegon is the real Aegon, and Rhaenyra's people are vain people. But people started saying Aegon the Elder, and Aegon the Younger, Aegon the Younger. Meanwhile, in King's Landing, the elder Aegon and Helaena first have twins. In 123 AC, son Zaharis and daughter Zaharia, 127, boy Melor. King Viserys now spends most of his time playing with Aegon and Helena's 3 children. One day King Viserys died. A servant enters his room and finds King Viserys dead. He tells Queen Alicent the news and asks her to ring the bell to let everyone know King Viserys is dead, but Queen Alicent imprisons the servant without ringing the bell. His father informs Otto Hightower about this and they hold a small council. There everyone is asked to accept Prince Aegon as king, but one of the Black supporters protested. Then Sir Criston came and killed him by slitting his throat. The rest were Black supporters who accepted Aegon as the king out of fear of death. Season 1 episode 9 so far. Those who don't want spoilers should avoid the rest. After Prince Aegon became king, they sent Prince Aemon with his great dragon Vhagar to every lord of Westeros to find their loyal supporters. Meanwhile, within a few days, when this news reached Rhaenyra burst into flames. He was afraid of this for so long. Rhaenyra's fear that Alicent would cheat on her and put her son Aegon on the Iron Throne came true. Rhaenyra then meets with Daemon, Rhaenys, Corlys and her sons at Dragonstone. Princess Rhaenys Targaryen also joins the Blokes, because Princess Rhaenys has to spend her whole life regretting not being able to sit on the Iron Throne. People called her the queen who never was, so he knows the pain of disenfranchisement. What happened to him happened to Rhaenyra. That's why Rhaenys Targaryen decided to work for Rhaenyra. Queen Elizabeth and the Greens had political power, because Aegon sits straight on the Iron Throne and is accepted as king by many. But Rhaenyra's power was on a different level. Dragonstone had a total of 12 dragons. However, as per the meeting's decision, Rhaenyra sends her eldest son Jacaerys to the Vale so that House Arryn and the surrounding houses support the Blacks. The Greens cannot be defeated without their support. He also sends his stepson Lucerys to Strombourne, where House Baratheon and the smaller houses reside. Rhaenyra expected the support of Baratheon and the minor houses, so Lucerys rode his little dragon Eurexus and set off for Strombourne. Strombourne arrives to find Lord Borros Baratheon speaking with one-eyed. Lucerys realizes he is too late. Meanwhile, Borros Baratheon tells Lucerys to leave Strombourne because he will work for the Greens. Lucerys got upset and rode out on his little dragon. It was night, and due to heavy rainstorms, Lucerys' dragon Eurexus could not fly properly. Then a huge shadow came over Lucerys from above. One-eyed brought his gigantic dragon Vhagar. Lucerys destroyed Aemon's eyes when he was young, so Aemon attacked little Lucerys to take this opportunity to take revenge. In a few seconds, the small dragon Eurexus fell into the water in 2 or 3 pieces, and Lucerys died with it. Rhaenyra burst into tears upon hearing the news of her son's death. At the same time, his morale was also broken. He doesn't want to take any further action. But then she got a letter from her husband Daemon Targaryen. We will take revenge, an eye for an eye, a son for a son. After obtaining Rhaenyra's consent, Daemon hires 2 assassins, one named Blood and the other named Cheese. Blood is a former member of the Gold Cloak Army. Daemon once led these Gold Cloak armies. It was this demon who had given them a life of honor, and the other was Cheese the rat catcher. He used to catch rats in King's Landing, so he knows all the secret roads of King's Landing. The 2 of them bypassed all the guards and went straight into King Aegon Targaryen's room. They attack Helaena and pick up Blood Zaris and Cheese Melor. Helaena begs for the children's lives with folded hands. Take my life, leave them alone. Then Blood says death is owed, son for son. She says now you decide which boy to beat. A mother is questioning which of her sons she will kill. Hearing this, Helaena starts crying and begs them for the lives of the boys. Blood gets annoyed and says if I delay too much, I will kill both of them. Tell me quickly who will kill. Then Helaena pressed a stone on her chest and said my little son is Melor. Cheese whispers in Melor's ear, you heard me, baby, your mother wants us to kill you. Saying this, Cheese goes to steal Melor's throat when Blood throws it at Jericho's throat. After this incident, Helaena goes crazy. He would not even go in front of Melor because he was asking Melor to kill him. Blood has been replaced with Blood. A battle breaks out between Alicent, Aegon, and Rhaenyra the demon. Each house in Westeros is divided into either green or black. Some say that since King Viserys has heired Rhaenyra to the Iron Throne, Rhaenyra should sit on the Iron Throne. Another group says that Aegon should sit on the Iron Throne since he is the eldest son of King Viserys. In the meantime, Rhaenyra sends Daemon to Harrenhal, and Daemon rides his dragon Caraxes to Harrenhal and takes the name of the Blokes and sits there to plan the next. Meanwhile, the Starks, who worship the truth, support the Blacks, because King Viserys has declared Princess Rhaenyra heir to the throne.